This is Shirley from Shirley's World. I'm in by the computer, and if my tripod will sit up here. It's Saturday, and I wasn't on yesterday. I didn't feel well, but today I'm fine, so that's good. And I think I need Dr. Christine Casmar. I'm going to look into that. And anyway, I thought I'd talk a little bit on winterizing your coop for your chickens today. I finished my breakfast and my coffee. I left out in the kitchen, but I'll warm it up later. My dogs have been out, my chickens are in the run, and cats have been fed. So everything's done. I have some bills to pay here. That's why I'm at the computer. So while I'm here, I got out some information that I had written on my blog about winterizing your chickens for as the temperatures get colder here. We had wonderfully warm weather for over a week. It was in the 70s, and it's November in Northeast Ohio. That's rare, but it was wonderful. But now it's like 50 out and sort of breezy, so it feels chilly, even though that's normal for November here, 50. And it's sunny today, so that's good. So winterizing the coop. I use the dry bed method. I use shavings. I don't use the small little shavings because they're very dusty. I use the big flake shavings. And we just finished rebedding my coop when my handyman was here. And my bedding is about 6 inches deep. And as the winter goes on, I just keep adding to it because it gets lower. It sort of composts. Even though it's cold, it does go down. So I'm not going to change it till spring. So I just keep adding to it. When you add to it, it keeps it clean. Everything's dried out, and I don't ever have any odor in my chicken coop. As far as the roosting bars, they are over a container because they poop a lot at night. They're over a container that has stall dry in it. That's something you can buy, like a Tractor Supply. Hi Green Eyes. Thanks for joining. Stall dry is something actually for stalls for horses, and it's to keep the ammonia smell down, and it dries out things like right away. So I put that in this container I have under their roosting bars. They when they go on that, it falls down into the stall dry and immediately dries it out, so there's no odor at all. And you can sift it out with a cat litter scoop real easy. So every other day I scoop it out, keeps it clean, and no odor ever. Now some people swear on hay or straw in the coop. They say it's a better insulator, which may be. I've never tried straw. This is going well, so I just don't want to have any odor. Maybe I'll try it. I don't know, maybe I'll sprinkle some on top. If it gets really cold, I'll put some on top of the shavings and see if it makes it warmer. But I don't heat my coop at all. I think the first year when they were really young, I had a light bulb in there that just warmed it a little bit, but I do have power in there because that's another thing about the water. Now, I'm sorry, that's my little girl dog. She has a hacking cough. I take out the regular chicken waters because they will freeze in the winter. When it gets below 32, they freeze, and that's a big problem. So what I bought was the one outside, the water outside I just take in for the winter. I don't have one outside. But the one in the coop, I got a dog bowl that's heated, a heated dog bowl. And they're about this big. So I elevated it up on some bricks and plugged it in, and the heater will go on only if it gets below 40 degrees. If the water gets below 40 degrees, it goes on, so it's intermittent. And it keeps the water from freezing all winter long. And it's a little more of a problem to change the water in the winter because, of course, you can't use a hose outside, and so I have to bring buckets of water from the inside to fill it. I empty it and then fill it. But the heated dog bowl works very well for the chickens. So the bedding is important, to have nice deep bedding to keep them warm. My coop is insulated and it's inside the garage, so it's not near as cold as ones that would be standing freestanding out in a yard or someplace. But it still gets mighty cold here in Northeast Ohio. So let's see, straw naturally keep you keep water from pain. In the winter, they stay in their coop more than in the summer or in the warm weather, because my chickens do not like the snow. My run is covered, so they in the morning they peek out of the door when I open it. They peek out and see if there's any snow on the ground. If they see white snow, they don't come out of their coop. So if there's no snow, they will come out in the winter, in the run. So if there's snow, that means they stay in their coop and a long time every day. So chickens get bored. If they get too bored, they'll start pecking at each other and fight, and like anybody with cabin fever, I guess. So you have to give them little different little things to entertain them, which I have a wire ball like this that I put things in and hang it from the ceiling where they can reach, and like anything anything they like, greens and anything that'll stay in this little ball, and that gives them something to do. And if you put I give them warm oatmeal in the winter. You can mix a tiny bit of molasses in that, or that's good for them. And give them fruit. They eat it up right away, so there's no danger in it freezing. Choosing hardy breeds. If you live in the northern countries, northern part of the U.S., or where it's cold in England or wherever, and it gets really cold in the winter, it's best to choose breeds of chickens that are cold hardy, or that going to do well. You don't want chickens that just do well in the warm climates. So most of the chickens, not all of them, but most of the chickens that do well in the winter that are considered cold hardy have a smaller crown. So if you choose like an Americana or Easter egg, or there's lots of different kinds that have smaller wattles and smaller, can't think of the word right now, but then, because there's a danger in the winter of them getting frostbite on these. So what I do, I have two that they have big, I can't think of the name of that. The thing on their head, the red thing that stands up. Oh my heavens. Anyway, there is a chance of that getting frostbite. And the thing that they get frostbite from isn't exactly just the cold temperature comb. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you. Yes, the comb. It's not only that they get it from the cold temperatures, because if it's cold and dry, they won't get frostbite. But if there's moisture in the air, which there is because there's snow on the ground and whatever, and be careful not to spill water inside the coop when you're doing your water, and keep it as dry as you can. So what you do is, I put Vaseline on the top, but there's lots of things you can do. You just get a chicken. It's easy to catch them when they're just in their coop. So you get a chicken, put it on your lap, and coat their comb and wattles with Vaseline. And you do have to do this every 2 or 3 days when they look like they're getting dry. Somebody told me they spray olive oil spray on them. You cover their eyes and you can spray olive oil. Another thing they use is, I think it's called Waxeline. It's a product you can get probably in Tractor Supply. I haven't tried that, but that would be a good thing to try too. But you coat their combs and wattles so they don't get frostbite. Because the first year, I didn't know so much about that, and one of my Buff Orpingtons, they have big combs. So one of them got, on the very tips, they had some black tips. And once they turn black, they'll eventually fall off. So you want to protect their combs. So keep them coated with something when it's really, really cold out. I'm talking about way below freezing here, and humid. So that's another thing to do for them. Keep them entertained, coat their combs and wattles, and have good bedding for their coop, so they have some place to be protected from the cold. I keep my window a tiny bit open in the winter. Even though it's cold out, they have to have good, very good ventilation. So my coop is ventilated very well around the top, and I have it opening in a window in the door that I keep open a little bit, and my regular window to the outside I keep open a little bit. The only time I would close it is if it would be sleeting rain or something and blowing in that side of the coop and getting into the coop, then I would close it. But other than that, ventilation is super important. So those are my little tips on winterizing your coop. And you can start to do that already now if you're up north. It's getting chilly at night. It's getting probably will be, by another week or two, it'll be in the high 30s at night. So that's my tips for today about chickens. And I'm going to, my sister's still here, and we're going to go, there's some shopping I need to do, and what else? Something else we're going to do. Oh, we were going to run to some thrift stores. That's always fun. So if I get anything good, I'll show you tomorrow, or show you later. So I want to say bye for now, and thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you later. Bye.